Each year on Palm Sunday, we hear an account of the Lord's Passion, this year from Matthew. Before hearing this proclamation, it's crucial that we know Matthew's audience and his perspective. We know that centuries of anti-Jewish sentiment prevailed in the church and sadly among many Christians. Matthew's Passion story certainly fueled this attitude. The chief priests and the elders persuade the crowd to ask Pilate for Jesus' crucifixion. And when Pilate declares himself innocent of this man's blood, Matthew relates, "The whole people said in reply, 'His blood be upon us and upon our children.'" How are we to hear these texts today? Scripture scholar Father Daniel Harrington writes that at the Second Vatican Council, the Church rejected the idea that the Jewish people are forever cursed for having put to death the Son of God. And the popes since the Council have regularly condemned any form of anti-Semitism. Another Catholic scholar, Father Donald Sr., urges us to understand, quote, "the temporal and cultural limits of Matthew's perspective within the context of the gospel." Both scholars explain that Matthew was writing after the Jewish revolt against Rome, the fall of Jerusalem, and the destruction of the temple in the year 70. Matthew's audience was a mixed community of Jewish and Gentile converts to Christianity. Rooted in Judaism, their emerging beliefs brought them into conflict with the contemporary groups within Judaism. We see how the Palm Sunday praise of the crowds for Jesus changes when he's before Pilate. The religious leaders urge them to call for Jesus' condemnation. Now, Father Senior writes that Matthew places the major blame on the Jewish leaders but does not absolve the crowds. But we cannot understand the reference to the whole people to mean all Jews of all time. Matthew is concerned with the behavior of the leaders and the small crowd of Jews before Pilate, as well as the conflicts his own community faced in their day. As we enter Holy Week, we need this perspective, not only for Matthew's Passion story, but for John's on Good Friday as well. Context is crucial for both, and neither is an excuse for anti-Semitism. Rather, we are, in the Council's words, to see, quote, "the cross of Christ as the sign of God's all-embracing love, and as the fountain from which every grace flows."